Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Thanksgiving. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here in the live Zoom studio of the Daily Huddle. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Pamela, Molly, and those of you who join us on Facebook. Thank you for being here in this very special day. This is a really remarkable day as a tradition, if you will. I don't know if it started as a day, a little bit of I don't know the history of the Thanksgiving Day, but what I understand about the history of the Thanksgiving Day, it's not such a nice thing, right? However, the tradition of getting together with family, which is right now not quite being able to be done for many families, but the tradition of getting together and just stopping for a second, stopping the complaints, stopping all the things that human beings do, and focus on what to be grateful for during the year. What a beautiful tradition, Saurel. Good morning, Saurel. Great to be with you.
Good morning, Giovanni. Great to be with you. Cynthia Logan is on Facebook, and Cynthia said, Saurel, the turkey said the time is now. I missed it. Good morning, Giovanni. And, I don't take it for granted that today's Thanksgiving and that the world is celebrating that, meaning we in the United States do celebrate that. So Pamela, Molly, and Mike, others who are here with us on Facebook or in the live studio audience, thank you for braving the morning and coming to be with us to be in a conversation entitled, What Are You Grateful For? You know, there's a particular aspect of gratefulness that's actually beneficial to not just you, but the people around you and your business and anything you're connected to. And yet, Gio, I find that people, and not just people, let's just say human being, it's not the nature of human beings to get up in the morning and have a daily habit of expressing gratitude and being grateful as a way of being. And I wonder, why is that, Gio? You're on mute, Gio.
Yeah, I think it's a great question. It's for us very important to look at it and maybe dissect it a little bit, given that we are creatures of habits, right? It's we don't necessarily see ourselves as creatures of habits. We see ourselves as creatures of freedom and self-expression and self-determination, right? And things like that, right? That has given us who we are. However, it's very easy to see that you and I, Saurel, and if we could look at human beings on a spectrum, human beings are creatures of habits. The main habit, if you will, the main ritual for human beings is to align to their survival, right? Like the main job of the brain, right? Of my brain is to make sure that I'm alive, is to make sure that you're alive. Now, survival is looked as in many different ways. There is a physical survival, right? Which is, you're driving and you want to make sure that you stay in your lane, right? And your own brain is making calculations at, unbelievable speeds around the speed of the car, the speed of your hand, the speed of the car in front of you, and the speed of how fast your legs need to act in order to press the brakes. Their brain is unbelievable at making sure that it makes incredible calculations to stay alive. And from the history, from the time we started, right, 250,000 years ago, more or less is what we know, the Homo sapien history. We know that the ones that survived, the ancestors that survived, right, the DNA that survived is the one that was looking for what's wrong here. What's not safe here, right? And
what's gonna eat me here?
What's gonna eat me here, right? Where do I need to run here, right? And so that's the DNA that survived, not necessarily the nothing is wrong here. It's DNA, right? Mm-hmm. So centuries and over the years, right? To be simple, the habit that survived, that is tied to our survival, is what's wrong here, not what am I grateful for here. That one ate my grandfather. Okay, so that one didn't work out. That one, the one that worked out was like, what's wrong here, right? And so it's important for us to consider this notion, right? As performers that we are, that when I wake up in the morning, the habit that's there, it's not what am I grateful for,
Yeah.
or during the day, right? I'm going to have lunch and I look at my meal, or maybe I'm just walking around, or whatever it is that I'm doing. And the habit that's there is not what am I grateful for. When I go home at night after work or whatever I do, and then the night is coming up, the habit that's there is it's not what am I grateful for. The habit that's there is what do I need to fix here? What's wrong here? How do I need to change it here, right? So I thought it was a great question, Sorel, and I kind of expanded on it. Thank you for your
Yeah.
generosity.
And just to anchor everything that you're saying, there's a particular flavor to what's wrong here. I'm looking for myself, and I've been looking, Gio, and I find that in the habit of looking for what's wrong here, in the habit of looking for what do I need to fix, there's also what am I about to lose that I must keep? And it centers around these things, right? There is my ability to have power in the world, in business, to rule over X, Y, or Z, or to rule over other people. So there's power that I'm protecting, and I don't want to lose. There's prosperity. It's not, my God, am I going to have enough money to take care of my business? Am I going enough money to buy the things I want? So I protect that. And then there's prestige. How am I regarded in the world? I mean, gosh, uh, how much time did I spend in the mirror when I was in college, uh, patting that afro, making sure making sure that I was well regarded, right? So I protect my prestige. And if I work in a company, or if I belong to my family, there's my pecking order. Where do I fit in the order of people? I protect my position. And last but not least, I spend a lifetime of protecting my ability to have a pleasurable life. And so when you ask human beings, what is success to you? They express success in terms of these five things: position, power, freedom, power, prosperity, prestige, and pleasure. And when you ask people, what am I grateful for? They actually look in that direction. Yes, I have enough power. Yes, I have enough pleasure. I have enough money. I have prosperity. My position is great. My prestige is intact. So when you ask people, what are you grateful for? The same habit you're pointing to, Giovanni, the habit of being, oh my God, what's wrong here? When I ask people, when I ask myself, what am I grateful for? I tend to point to, I'm grateful for what's not wrong. I'm happy my money's still good. I'm
Yeah,
grateful.
and I'm grateful for what's not wrong with those I love.
Yeah, yeah. So you look at it, the answer to the question often is coming from the same world of what is wrong. Simply the brain is just saying what's not wrong. Oh, I'm happy for that. I'm grateful for that. So yeah, Gio, I totally get it.
Yeah. So on this amazing day, right, that we celebrate for many, many, many years, right? The opportunity of looking at what we're grateful for. We want to today here in the Daily Huddle, we want to leave a seed, a powerful seed to water every day, to look for what you can be grateful for the sake of looking, right? Not just because you want to fix something or something that was wrong and now it's okay, but just for the sake of looking. What are you grateful for? right? And it's critical to do it, because if you and I only look for what we're grateful for the big things, like health, and my parents are alive. If you only look for the great things, it's difficult to build the habit. The brain will say, yeah, 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 your health is good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And we take for granted, but not because we're bad human beings, but because the brain sees it as that's handled. There's nothing wrong there. That's handled, right? So we want to create today in the Daily Huddle this opportunity for all of us who are joining today to create a daily habit for the rest of our lives to look, well, what am I grateful for right now? And at least to do it 3 times a day. At the level of the brain, Saurel, you and I are fond of having that conversation. At the level of the brain, you trigger the chemicals that give space for creativity and high performance at the level of the brain. Why? Because thinking what you're grateful for actually, I'm going to get a little geek on all of us, so forgive me. Thinking what you're grateful for activates the activity at the region in the brain that deals with emotions, right? Which is the limbic system, and activates the activity at the region of the brain that is your CEU, that's your CPU of the brain, right? That's the logic, the thinking, right? That allows you to be assertive in life. So constantly looking for what you're grateful for makes you more sharp. That's why meditation makes you sharp. That's why all those practices make you sharp. So that's what I wanted to add, Sorrel. I don't want to get too geek on us.
Man, it's okay to get geeky though, and because the other thing the brain likes is I will form a habit when I really understand and get what that habit gets me. Right? So to be grateful, if I hear you correctly, when I say, oh my God, I'm so grateful for the Daily Huddle family, the simple act of saying I'm grateful activates something in my brain that triggers pleasant, pleasing emotions. I
Yes,
can't be saying I'm grateful and generate being angry at the same time. I
exactly.
can't be saying, go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm, for example, I don't, if you know, or anyone in the Daily Huddle knows the statistics of how many people are suffering from depression in America. The statistics are super high. So if you know them, put them in the chat, right? But they're incredibly high. And medicines like Prozac, right, that people take for depression do the exact same thing in many ways than the action of being grateful for. So when I'm grateful, when I think right now, what am I grateful for? For something silly like I'm grateful that I have a microphone, right? Just for that, it triggers a chemical called serotonin in my brain. And that chemical just kind of relaxes you, if you will, to make it simple. When you take Prozac, right? It's a blocker that keeps serotonin in your brain. However, the side effects of Prozac in long term are terrible, right? And also to your performance, it makes you loopy and slow, right? But if you had developed the habit of being grateful on a regular basis, whether you mean it or not, it doesn't matter if you mean it. Whether you mean it or not, you begin to have those same effects, right? And also, by the way, it's a lot nicer to be someone who's grateful for something than someone who has the habit of just numbing themselves.
A ton nicer. And might I add, less expensive. It also gives you the opportunity to protect your prosperity. Eat that bird with the same bite. Well, I'd love to hear, Giovanni. We're looking. I'm looking. So, what are you grateful for, Giovanni?
Yeah, let's go around the room. What are we grateful for? I am grateful for Sorrel. Man, I'm going to start with the simple stuff. I am so grateful for this office I have here.
Yeah.
This is just lucky, if you will. I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. I'm grateful for being alive in this time. You know, not many people have the opportunity to go through a crisis like COVID-19 and see and be with humanity and human beings in the way that they're being, and practice just looking. I'm grateful for the fact that I have been semi-quarantined or sequestered since March 12th of this year. And in the process, something unexpected happened, Giovanni. I fell in love with my eldest son. You know, my son's a personal trainer, and we decided to, well, gosh, you know, since we won't go to the gym, I'll just go work out with my son every morning. So three times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning, we work out together for an hour. Uh, he gives instructions, I follow them, and day after day, I just fall in love with this marvelous man. And I love my family. I'm grateful for that. I'm really grateful for that.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing, right? So let's share around the room. I see Cynthia on Facebook says she's like, I'm grateful for being alive and perfectly healthy. That's so great, Cynthia. I'm grateful for that too, that you're alive and perfectly healthy, right? Yeah. So Rose, Pamela, Molly, Mike, Cece, and those of you on Facebook chat, put it in the text. What are you grateful for? And you don't have to be significant. Just look. Just look. What are you grateful for?
Can I speak?
And
I'm grateful for that.
Yes, as opposed to nothing to say. So I agree. I'm grateful for life itself and for restoration of health and well-being. But in this moment, I'm grateful for the view out of my back windows. When I wake up in the morning and I look out of my back window, it's kind of wooded back there, and I can see the squirrels running up and down the trees, and I can see the birds, and I can see the leaves falling off the trees, and it's just beautiful. And I'm sitting here looking out the same view, but I'm sitting in the kitchen, and 3 deer just went sprinting across the backyard. I'm grateful for the ability to be with what's happening in nature. We're here, we're inside. We can look at things that we've never looked at before in a way that we've never looked at them before. So I'm grateful for that in this moment.
Uh,
yeah, thank you. Thank you, Rose. That was beautiful. Mike, what are you grateful for? And go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yes. So I am very grateful for family for sure. And in this moment, I'm especially grateful for my son. My son actually moved away 15 years ago after he finished college and lived in Chicago for 10 years, now on the West Coast for 5 years. And just before COVID, he moved back to Atlanta. And we have had time together. He actually lived with me for 4 months, which was interesting because he hadn't lived with me since he was in high school. But it has been an amazing experience being able to be with him and to enjoy life with him and to reconnect with him and his friends because he had an incredible circle. And I've always praised him for having an amazing circle. And I'm very grateful for that.
Thank you, Mike. We're grateful for your son. Yes, that's so beautiful. Yeah, you had me thinking, you and Sorrel had me thinking about my son. That's such a gift that has given me. Pamela, I don't know if you can speak. Molly, I don't know if you can speak. Go ahead, Molly, unmute yourself.
I am grateful to be an American. I know we've been through a lot, COVID and the election, but we'll get through it all. So I'm very proud to be an American.
That's beautiful. What a beautiful country America is, for real. Thank you, Molly, for saying that. That is beautiful,
Oh,
Molly.
Molly, thank you.
Mhm. Okay, so good morning, guys. I want to. I'm grateful for many things, and a lot of it falls in the category of what I call simple abundance. Every morning when I take a shower, and I waste probably a lot more water than I should, but I'm grateful for the abundance of being able just to have a warm or hot shower in the morning. I'm grateful for shelter and those kinds of simple abundance. But in addition to the bigger things like family and my businesses and etc. But I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge you. I am very grateful for the daily huddle. And in the, I guess it's been several weeks since I've been tuning in. You've had such a profound impact. The speakers that you have brought, I actually, in my business plan that I'm working on now, I have allocated dollars for keep.com. I've gone on LinkedIn and contacted speakers that you've had on your program that have spoken into my life and my business and my health. There have been so many instances that I have never taken this moment to say to you the difference that you and your programs and your speakers have made. And that's why I'm here this morning. I know that the quality that you bring does not happen by accident. And so I just wanted to thank you and let you know that I am grateful for Saurel and Giovanni and the Daily Huddle and this family. Thank you.
Oh,
Pamela.
thank you, Pamela. Thank you.
Yes, Pamela, thank you. That was so great said. Pamela, thank you for the acknowledgement. I appreciate it profoundly, really. And one of the things that you said one of the things that you said is that I love, and now I'm going to use for the rest of my life, is to be grateful for the simple abundance, to look in my life, what is that abundance I have that I can be grateful for, and to support people in looking in that grateful abundance. The other day I was writing an article. They asked me to write an article on, not, it wasn't called simple abundance, right? But it was on the things that makes me a high performer that I don't know about, right? And it was, I can't remember the stats now. Oh my gosh, today's not the day I remember anything. Your heartbeat and my heartbeat beats at 40 million, 40 million times a month, a year. I forgot. Anyway, but it is this remarkable number that your heart and my heart beats every single day, and you do not give it a command, and it's there for you every single day of your life, right? And in a lifetime, it's, and that in itself makes you a high performer, right? So that beautiful thing. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you so much for creating that. What are those simple abundance, right? That you were saying. I love it.
I love that you pointed to that statistic, and it gives me the opportunity to be grateful for the internet.
Yes.
And grateful for Google. And so I just typed in number of heartbeats per month, and it came with number of heartbeats per day. And the heart beats, average heart, 100,000 times per day. I am so grateful for that. So, and
100,000 times per day.
100,000 times per day. It expands and contracts every 100,000 times per day, pumping 5 to 6 quarts of blood each minute and about 2,000 gallons per day. That's an amazing machine. I'm grateful for that machine.
Yeah, so on an average will be 36 million times a year. Yeah, I got that. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Cece,
Hi, it's CC.
Hey, CC, what are you grateful for, girl?
I am grateful for God for allowing his infinite love that dwells inside of all of us to have love for each other, to have these infinite amount of blessings to allow our bodies and our minds and our souls to work functionally, to have infinite thoughts, infinite blessings of where we get to live, and to have our families, the ones that are still here, for the ability to love them just the way they are now, and to love you guys just the way that you are, and to be thankful that this is Thanksgiving is every day for me. It's not today. It's every day that God gives me the ability to wake up and breathe again on my own. I don't need a respirator. I don't need medicine. All I need is God to bless me with each day, where I can see through the eyes that I have, where I can walk with the legs and the feet that I have, and do all the things that most people take for granted, because there's some people that don't have as much as what I have. I could say for myself. And whatever I desire, I just go to God to ask. And I don't think everything in my life is perfect, but perhaps each day God blesses me. I get an opportunity to do something, to be of assistance and be of help to somebody else, whether instead of just myself. So I think I've said enough. This is CC. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving, CC. Happy Thanksgiving. There's gratitude being expressed on Facebook as well, Gio. I'd be remiss not to mention the name Edwin Magloire. It's strange that each time I think about the group of young men and women who are making themselves entrepreneurs in Haiti and are embracing the quest of transforming Haiti into a developed nation. And right at the head of the pack stands a gentleman named Edwin. I'm grateful for Edwin. I'm grateful for the Bell Initiative. I'm grateful for Ronald Satut. I'm grateful for their courage, their dedication. Wow. I'm a lucky man to have people like you and people like them and to be born a Haitian. I'm grateful for that. It gives me the life I live now. And man, what a wonderful life I have. Thank you, Edwin.
yes, Edwin is amazing. So, every time I think, man, this thing goes too fast. The daily huddle just goes too fast. So maybe today you're gonna meet up with family, maybe you won't. Maybe you're gonna meet up with them on Zoom, maybe you won't. Maybe you're gonna eat something, maybe you won't, right? But there is what Pamela is pointing to, the simple abundance in your life to notice at any moment of your life. You're showered by abundance at any moment in your life, and there is that. If you are going to meet with family, your brain will resist it, like, oh my God, no, not family, no. Your brain will do that, right? It's not you, it's your brain. So remember the daily huddle, right? Remember today's conversation. Remember to just stop, breathe, and allow the simple abundance, right? And there is right there where you're at with your family an abundance of love that has come to you over the years, regardless of how much you thought they weren't the best and the perfect people in your life. They gave you love however they did, and they cared for you however they did. And it's just a moment for you to allow yourself to love however people are and however they're not, right? That crazy uncle that drinks every time, you can just love him how he is and how he's not today. Just
And that crazy human being called you, you can accept her or him just however crazy and wild and weird you think he or she is. I'm grateful for you, Giovanni, and grateful for the Daily Huddle. Send us home as you usually do.
very good. Saurel, I am grateful for you. I'm unbelievably grateful for you. Rose, I'm grateful for you. Molly, I'm grateful for you. Pamela, I'm grateful for you. Mike, I'm grateful for you. Cece, I am so grateful for you. And those of you who join us on Facebook, Cynthia, Edwin, I am grateful for you. Joanne, I'm grateful for you.
Zeke Matthias, I'm grateful for you.
Yes. But Saurel, really, thank you for giving me the life that you have given me, Saurel. This is a beautiful life, beautiful space. I get to see how much of a jerk I am in the most generous way, and you helped me to rebuild myself around that. I have never seen a human being do it better. So thank you for being such a stand for the opportunity that myself, like a self, is for me. You have stretched my identity, the corners of my identity in so many generous and beautiful ways. And I am committed to share it with the world, Saurel. Thank you for who you are as America's executive coach, as my coach in so many ways.
And thank you for being the #1 transformational leadership coach, the man who gives me the opportunity to practice being just what you said. And man, in practicing like that, it makes the biggest difference for me, for the people in my life, for the companies that I run, and for the clients I get to touch. And 179 episodes ago, it was just like that. So thanks to your persistence. Thanks for waking me up this morning.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Pamela, I am going to send you a text in a short minute. I wanted to share something with you. And everyone have a phenomenal rest of the day. Enjoy your day, be okay with it, and just allow the simplest abundance to shower you at any moment of your life. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. 9.
Love you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Love you
Awesome. Happy
too.
Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Wonderful
guys.
program.
It was. It always is. Thanks.